$2,000 is deposited into an account for which interest is compounded annually. The value of the account 10 years after the deposit is $3,047. Find the value of the account 4 years after this initial deposit. So again, we are interested in 3 different times here. Time equals 0 when the money is deposited. Then we know the value of the account after 10 years at t equals 10, and we want to know the value at t equals 4. So to help us keep everything straight, we're going to draw a time diagram. So there are 3 times that we're interested in: 0, 4, and 10. At time 0, that's when our initial investment was made, and that was $2,000. At t equals 0, $2,000 was invested. And then we're told that after 10 years, the value of the account is $3,047, and we want to know the value of the account after 4 years. We're also told that interest in this case is compounded annually, which is nice. That'll make things a little bit easier for us. But we aren't told the interest rate. If we did know the interest rate, we could simply take this $2,000 and accumulate it forward using the compound interest formula. But since we don't know the interest rate, we need to find that first. So now this first step of this problem is really similar to example 6 that we had just done in the previous step, or in the previous example. So I'm going to use P equals 2,000 and A equals 3,047 to solve for the interest rate. So my accumulated value over the course of 10 years is $3,047 equals the amount invested is 2,000 multiplied by 1 plus I raised to the n. Interest in this case is compounded annually, and I'm looking at 10 years, so my exponent is going to be 10. So now I divide both sides by 2,000. That leaves me with 1.5235 equals 1 plus I to the 10th power. I need to get rid of the 10, the exponent on the right-hand side, so I raise it to the 1 over 10 power, which means I need to do the same thing to the left-hand side. I raise it to 1 over 10. So calculating the left-hand side, 1.5235 raised to the 1/10th power leaves me with 1.043, and on the right-hand side, I get 1 plus I. Okay, so then I subtract 1 from both sides, and that tells me that I is equal to 0.043. Okay. By the way, it's worth mentioning that since M is 1, since we're compounding annually, this also happens to be the annual rate. It's not only the periodic rate, but it's the annual rate. Either way, though, once I know I can accumulate forward to figure out the value at t equals 4. Doing that over to the side here, my accumulated value is going to be equal to my initial investment times 1 plus the interest rate raised to t, or raised to n, the number of years. Now in this case, I'm accumulating out to t equals 4. I want to know the value after 4 years, so I'm going to use 4 as my exponent. So if I plug this into my calculator, I'm going to get $2,366.83. Okay? So that is the value of this account after 4 years.